Hi guys, so today we're just going to be looking at a bunch of decks. There is no rhyme or reason for this. In all honesty, I have a couple videos that I really want to create, but I felt like before we really launched into those videos, I kind of wanted to talk about some of the newer decks that I have and some that I've been working with. There are still some decks on my wish list, and maybe once I feel pretty secure with all the baby stuff and purchases regarding that, then I will get some of those decks, because they've been on my wish list for a hot minute now, and I've kind of been neglecting purchasing anything for myself. But I do want to fill out my collection a bit more, because there are a bunch of tarot projects that I really want to dive into and want to do for myself, and I think that's going to be a really good personal hobby for me, especially postpartum. So we'll see as I venture into motherhood. But anyway, I just wanted to say hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Amelia, and if you want to learn anything about me, I have a bunch of links in the description below. But I'm an author, I'm a psychic, a tarot reader. I professionally read tarot for other people. Sorry if my voice sounds crazy. And some of the decks that we're going to be talking about today actually are decks that I have been using for clients, and I just kind of want to give not really a deck review, but genuinely keep this to be a really chill, just really relaxed flip through of just a bunch of decks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, and we're going to start out strong with a brand new deck. So over Christmas, my husband gifted me the Botticelli tarot. It is, I believe, US Games, I want to say. Nope, it's Lo Scarabeo, my bad. Lo Scarabeo. And so this is kind of based on, I think, curated art. I don't think it is curated art. It could be. It could be. I don't really know. I've only actually used it one time, so I haven't used it much. There is some nudity in the deck, so I can't flip over to the back side because of that. Let's see. Okay, we got some extra cards. So it does come with this little white book, and I believe it's in multiple languages. Yep, just like Lo Scarabeo often does. So nothing crazy about it. I haven't really opened it and looked into it too much. Though I kind of do want to check from the artist. So it seems like the Florentine painter Alessandro Filippi, also known as Botticelli, is what inspired this deck. I don't know if that means it's his artwork. I assume it does. Or characters in his artwork. I don't know. But anyway, I've only used it literally once, and there's already some chipping, but I am pretty harsh on my decks. I have to admit though, I love these backs, and genuinely it has this guys, do you remember the older cardstock that just had this almost papery, cardboardy feeling on the sides? Just the cards in general felt like that. That's what this feels like. They're not slippy, they're not linen, but I love the feeling of the sides. I have a couple vintage decks, decks that are genuinely older, and it has this feeling. Oh my god, I love it. Okay. There might be some weird cutting here. I hate to do it to you, cutting myself off. I'll try not to, but again, there is some nudity in the deck, and YouTube is a freak about that, so anyway, there is foiling on every single card, and a bunch of languages, of course, but it's quite beautiful. It really is. I just haven't used it much. I think I'll flip them down. I just haven't really used it much, so I don't have a solid read of it, what it's like. I don't know what it would be like with clients. I've never read it for clients before, but I really do love the art style. I genuinely, there is something about it that's vintagey that I'm obsessed with. That's pretty, isn't it? Oh my god, and look at all the gold foiling in her dress. There's a lot of gold foiling in this. Let's get some that are not upside down. But yeah, I haven't really sat with it and studied it, so I can't really speak on it, but it's brand new. It intrigues me. It's definitely not something I needed, because I have other decks. I just realized I have one upside down, don't I? Yeah. I have other decks that have recently filled this place, which we'll see them, honestly, throughout this video. And because of that, gosh, everything's upside down. I'll just flip these. Because this doesn't really, like, it feels like it's not filling a void, it's just kind of adding to a type of, like, artwork that I already have a lot of, and that is this, like, older style, I don't want to say Renaissance-y artwork, because to be honest with you, I'm not well-versed in, like, Renaissance, Baroque, whatever. I wish I was, but I'm not, and so I don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about, I don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about the artwork, but it does have that older, curated art feel, and, like, the kind of, like, museum art. Sorry, there's some depictions, and that's a really cool magician, actually. I love that, with, like, the little globe up there. And, like, he has all his alchemy books and stuff. I really like this. I like that he's wearing yellow, too. I think that's really intriguing. Sorry, just, like, getting distracted. But I didn't need this. And so I feel like that's why I haven't gravitated towards it. Because, like, I have other decks, which I'll be showing shortly, that fill this niche. And again, I haven't worked with it enough, so how do I know, you know, if it's truly what I need? But yeah, it's very pretty. And there is, like, some color to help you figure out what suit is what. Like, you have, like, the wands are, like, this yellow, we have pentacles are pink, I believe, swords are the bluish one, and I think cups are actually greener. No, they're pretty blue too. I don't know. But it's a really interesting deck. I have to admit that. And my husband did a good job picking out something that I would like. I certainly do. But I just haven't played with it much, so we'll see. Alright, so I have another new deck, and then I kind of want to segue into, like, we'll just get there when we get there. Okay. So, my next new deck is the Crow Tarot Pocket Edition. I don't know if I've shown this on the channel. I do not buy duplicates of decks. That's not my thing. That's not what I do. But I don't have that many mini decks. I think I have two other mini decks outside of this. I have the Centennial Tarot, and I have the Wide Angle Tarot, and that one's a bit different. I mean, it's a mini deck for sure, but anyway, I really wanted another mini deck, and okay, there's other ones I've had on my wish list forever. You guys know Barbara Walker in a tin. Like, there are others, but I love the Crow Tarot. It's my favorite tarot deck, I think. Just, it became my soul deck. It just spoke with me. I don't even use it too often right now because I don't want the shadow work. I've actually just, you know, my current soul deck, if you will, is the Spacious Tarot, but I don't have the same connection with it in the way I do the Crow Tarot. But I was like, I really want another mini deck to, like, take with me places, and I'm just gonna shuffle because it just feels so right. Ooh, a card. Oh, no! Well, I guess it's good that it's reversed, but okay, well, anyway, maybe that's a sign of, like, you need to do a deep reading with us. Okay, well, we'll get there when we get there. But anyway, it's the exact same imagery. It feels a little cooler, actually, the color palette. It feels more bluish, like blue tinted or green tinted, than the regular Crow Tarot. But it's all the same artwork. Sorry, I'm going, like, really fast. Hold on one second. I should probably slow down because I realize maybe not everybody's seen this deck. Let's flip some over. So it features crows. It's a collage deck, which I'm not a huge fan of collage, like, at all. But this, I don't know, it just, something with this deck just clicked with me. And I've heard that happened to a lot of people, where something within the deck clicked for them. But I will admit, because I've had it for years, and it's been my go-to reader for years at this point, sometimes the imagery is, like, I don't want to say boring, but, like, it feels predictable now because, you know, I've seen it so much. And I will say it's an easy reader. It's wonderful. It tears me to pieces, and I love that. But I don't know, I've been craving something new, something more inspiring, something different in tarot. And I think I have some ideas. Like I said, I kind of want to treat myself here soon. But, yeah, I couldn't help it with this one. I ended up getting this around Christmas, and I got it for myself. And I will put it next to my larger one, just so you can kind of see a comparison. So the larger one is still my little baby. Well, not so little when I put them side by side, but it's still like my deck, right? They're literally like the same. They feel a little bit different. This is a thicker cardstock. This one's hard to shuffle, not gonna lie. This one's much easier to shuffle. It feels so much better in my hands. But what I liked about it, aside from the fact that I can take it with me places, because this one's just kind of unwieldy, is that I can have massive spreads, because I love having really big spreads with the Crow Tarot, especially when I do these really deep readings, like these interpersonal, or that'd be intrapersonal. Well, you know, the deep personal self-exploration readings. And so because I would, pull so many cards for those readings, oh my gosh, I thought that the mini would be a little bit better. And it is, and it honestly is. And I honestly almost want to get the mini archetypes as well, because I always pair those two together to do like really deep shadow work readings. So I'm so tempted to get the pocket Kim Cran's archetypes to go with it. But then I'm like, if I do that, am I going to use the big ones? Like, I still do use this one. I'm not going to lie. I still gravitate towards this one more often than this one. But if I'm going to do a really big spread, I'll do the little one. Just because you can lay so many more cards out. Like, as an example, like, let's just say, we're doing like a reading. I don't know. I'm just going to put a bunch of cards out. Maybe this is how my reading looks, And then I'll add like a couple extra down here. Like, I mean, you could put so many on the table and see so much, and it's so convenient. Versus my big one, which I love, but, I mean, even in this, circumstance, we can lay down a few cards, but not nearly as many. And I often read on the floor because of it, because I don't have a lot of table space, which, okay, to be fair, my table's a bit crowded right now, but in general, I tend to read on the floor because there's more space. And I just don't want to have to do that all the time. So that's another reason that I wanted it. But again, I'm like, if I got the pocket archetypes, especially if the pocket archetypes had better cardstock, I could see myself using just those and not my big archetypes for sure, and maybe not even my typical Crow Tarot, which would be tragic because I love this. It's my baby. And honestly, maybe the reason I thought it was more blue is because of the box. Hold on. I don't think it's actually tinted bluer. Just pull these. Like, I don't really feel like those are different, really. Like, they're different because they're different cards, but I don't think the palette's really that different when I laid them side by side because I didn't notice it. I think I only have that feeling that it's more tinted because of the boxes. But yeah, anyway, Crow Tarot. Okay, so I want to shift just a little bit and talk about two decks that I've been gravitating towards for client readings. One of them is a tried and true. You guys know it. You'll probably be like, she talks about that one a lot because it's honestly a workhorse deck. The other one is, you guys have seen it before, but like, it's unusual to bring it for client readings, so I don't know what has gotten into me, but it'll kind of like make sense, I think. So first, Ethereal Visions. This deck, my second ever tarot deck. Some people call them an RWS clone. I don't know. I think a clone to me is when it's literally the RWS but with different artwork, like, or different coloring. But these, I mean, they're RWS mimics, maybe? I don't know. I guess I categorize them differently in my head, but it'd be interesting to see what you guys thought. But this is just a very classic, like, I just love this deck. It's a workhorse deck. This is how I learned tarot, actually. This is the deck that I learned the tarot with. It fits my aesthetic very nicely with all the pastel. And I wanted to get the newer version of it because the newer version has more diversity. There's some different depictions on the cards, but I wasn't a fan of the colors. And that sounds strange, but I believe it's not gold foiling. I think it has like a silvery or holographic, and I like the gold. But then also the colors were like, they feel more saturated, and I love the pastel. So I have not gotten the new one. I genuinely just love this. And it's also one of those things where I'm like, I don't love this deck enough to warrant a second version in my collection. Like I do with the Crow Tarot, apparently. I don't know. I just don't want a second one. And I feel like I would keep picking this one anyway because I like the gold and I'm just familiar with the artwork. But I will admit, it doesn't have the best diversity, like, at all. But it's such an easy thing to read. I don't know. It just makes sense. And it's a workhorse. This is the one I grab for clients a lot. Especially clients who give me like a soft, gentle vibe because I don't want to overwhelm them or scare them. And it's not a mean deck. It's a very, very calm, chill deck. Look how cute. Yeah, so I really enjoy this one. I've been using it a lot for clients recently. Again, kind of like a workhorse deck, one that I tend to take with me if I travel to events and stuff, or if I do readings for parties and whatnot. So this deck's been like every which way, everywhere, and it's a go-to for me. Now, what's surprising is that the Fyodor Pavlov tarot has been another tarot that I have been using a lot for clients. Now, again, I'll kind of have to censor some cards here too, so we'll just see. I think there's not... Oh, well, good. Look, it's censoring itself with the ribbon. But the Fyodor Pavlov started indie, I believe, and then went mass market, but I got the mass market version when it got picked up by US Games. And it's so cute, and I love how it's minimally colored, funny enough, and I love there's like the splash of color depending on the suit and what's happening. I just find that clever, and I appreciate it a lot. It's beautiful. Like, it's just a beautiful deck. The sides are gilded in this gold, but the rest, it's not shiny here, but it has that same vintagey, like, Renaissance-y vibe. You know what I mean? And it's just so cute. That's me right now. Oh, it's so pretty. I love reading with this one. The cardstock feels amazing. The deck reads really well. And a lot of people really enjoy it. So that's another reason that I keep pulling it. The only thing is that it's not for everybody, and there are certainly some cards in here that are, I don't know, I would say triggering a little bit, but that's just Fyodor's, like, art style, right? And, so there's some things that I think can be off-putting for some crowds. It's not a deck that I pull for everyone, but it's certainly a good reader when it works. But again, like, not everyone is so happy with it. I also love that it's, like, one of the few depictions of a female hermit. And I love that because, like, I just identify with this card so heavily. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's a wonderful deck. And since it's mass market, it's, like, I think probably one of the best mass market, like, decks that you can get. It has this, like, I think it's like a slight linen finish, and it's so flexible too. It's easy to shuffle. It genuinely, the production quality, the artwork, everything about it is wonderful, and I've really been enjoying it with clients recently. Okay, so we are segueing into a very specific aesthetic that really, honestly, blends so well with the Botticelli and honestly, like, all the other decks I've been showing. It's a very niche art style, and I don't know how it just keeps coming up, and the craziest thing is I'm probably going to get more decks that fit this art style. Do I need them? No. But it just seems to be what's happening. Alright, so we're going to start off strong with one you guys have seen very, very recently. from me, and that is the Influence of Angels Tarot. So this deck is honestly slowly starting to become like a favorite of mine. It does have a very specific aesthetic, and I don't know. I don't know. I should have started with probably the one that started all this, but it's fine. I will say this, the edging, the gold edging, kind of hurts. It's very sharp. Especially holding this right after I held the Fyodor Pavlov. Sharp is the word that comes to mind. Kind of hurts a little bit. So I wouldn't use it like a ton in succession. It has simple backs, nothing to complain about, and I used to dislike the borders, but I kind of like them now. I think they're kind of cute. But it's all curated art. It's gorgeous. There's an angel on every card, whether that be the card, like the main figure on the card, or whether it be like a supporting like character somewhere else within the card. And I use this for my bedtime readings. It's going to stay in bedtime readings, and sometimes I honestly just use it when I need a pick-me-up, or I need to remember that the universe is here supporting me in some way. But yeah, I use it at, look at that beautiful Eight of Swords, isn't that crazy? I use it at bednight, oh my gosh, at bedtime, and I ask, where was the universe showing up for me today? And it's inspired by something that Lisa Pepez did, and I just thought it was just so genius, and so I incorporated it into my own bedtime routine. Now, my bedtime routine has fallen off a little bit. This past month has been crazy. There was a lot going on baby-wise. That's all I'm going to say. We're all fine. Everybody's happy and healthy, but very, very intense last month. Very, very intense last month. And so I've either done like a morning and an evening, or I've done mostly evening, and if I've done evening, it's just been this deck, and honestly, like, one card pull from the Oracle, and I don't even like grab Mind's Eye Tarot. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I have another video that kind of went into more depth about my daily routine. Some days I do both, some days it's been one or the other, and some days it's been nothing at all. Some days I just literally eat and sleep all day, and that's all I do. So just kind of depends, but I've really grown attached to this. Something about this deck, I don't know. And see, the thing is like, now I'm like holding it and I'm looking at it, and I had the Botticelli earlier. The Botticelli is so interesting. I love the foiling, but I love this more, I think. And like, if I was trying to decide between the two, it would be this one that I keep. But I want to be able to use the other one as well. I want to be able to find a place for both. I just feel like now my collection is starting to have a very specific theme, and I don't know if I want to keep that per se. It's a wonderful depiction of death. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But this one's not going anywhere. It's been wonderful. It's gorgeous. I really do like the borders now, and yeah, not fun to shuffle a ton, so I don't want to pull a ton of cards from it, but overall, it's certainly made an impact and changed my practice quite a bit. Okay, so this next one I also have to be careful with on YouTube, and it's why I don't really show it on YouTube, but it's probably one of my favorite decks of all time, and it is the Tarot of the Divine Masculine. So this deck, I don't remember where I saw it. I saw it a long time ago. I had it on my wish list forever, and then I got it one year for Christmas, and oh, I love this deck so, so much. I use it sparingly, though. So this is not one that I use all the time. It's one that has a very distinct purpose with Divine Masculine energy, and I genuinely feel like this deck captures Divine Masculine so well. I love it, and it's a very luxurious deck. I believe I've said that before when I've shown it. Again, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to either censor or cut pieces out because there's a lot of nudity, a lot of male nudity, and there are a few very suggestive cards, so just keep that in mind. But there is these beautiful dark edges. It's on this matte rose petal-y finish, I think. Oh, it feels amazing. Like, this has to be one of the most luxurious decks I own. So I'm going to try to flip it upright. Okay. I think I've made it somewhat nice. So anyway, it's beautiful. It's like this beautiful masculine deck. Everybody, not everybody, but I would say the majority of the characters are masculine or male, and I love this for tapping into that divine masculine energy. Like the High Priestess has been renamed to Intuition, and I think that's beautiful. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't have any words. I feel like words don't do it justice for how beautiful and wonderful this deck is. But I have a very specific purpose for it in my collection. It is very, like, refined art to me. It's very, like the kind of art you'd find in a museum. And as you guys might have noticed, like, that seems to be the theme of, like, these decks, and what I've been gravitating towards recently is this very refined, painterly, vintagey, like, museum art decks. And I don't know what it is about them. I think part of it is that it's been thrust upon me a little bit. Obviously, I've had this one for a long time. This is probably one of my favorite depictions of the Hierophant ever in any deck. Just love it. But I think, I don't know, because part of me wants to, you know, explore other decks that have, like, a different vibe, especially, like, a childish vibe, and I'm thinking of my Shadowland Tarot, because I haven't pulled it out very much, and I really need to use it more, but, playful decks, right? I want to explore that, like, a more childlike kind of deck, in the way that the Spacious Tarot is childlike to me, but these are the ones that I just keep picking up, and these are the ones I keep using, and I don't know. It just seems to be like a thing that's happening in my collection. Look at that beautiful Hermit. I adore this deck. Again, it has some interesting art. There's a link that I'll leave in the description below if you wanted to look at the deck, but just keep that in mind. Look at that Ten of Swords. Yeah, it's incredible, and again, very luxurious. And I like it. I like it a lot. It has a very, very distinct purpose in my collection, and I haven't been using it a ton recently, but it's certainly been one I've pulled out at least twice now this year, which is a lot. And I just feel drawn to it, and it's kind of crazy considering that, like, I feel like I'm stepping into feminine energy with, like, pregnancy and motherhood, but for whatever reason, Tarot of the Divine Masculine is, like, on my mind. So, yeah. Beautiful. This deck, I think, is what seals the deal, honestly, regarding this aesthetic. So, Sublime Thresholds Tarot, you guys might have seen it in my daily practice video, but I honestly have been shifting away from it recently in daily practice. But it is a curated art deck, also with dark sides, and mine's a little beat up because I'm not very nice on it, and I should be a little bit more careful because I try to be more careful with my indie decks, but obviously I'm not being careful enough. But this is a beautiful deck, and I am obsessed. And the thing is, I got this deck because I had FOMO about the Oracle of Delphi. I have seen, or not the Oracle, the Tarot of Delphi, whatever, the Delphi Tarot, that one, the iconic one. I am so mad that I did not, like, I wasn't even in the tarot world, I don't think, when that happened. Or if I was brand new to it, so I didn't know anything. I am so jealous that I don't have that deck. But now I don't feel like I need it. Like, I was jealous, I guess I should say. I really, really, really wanted the Tarot of Delphi. It just, something about pulling out curated art and matching it to the tarot and seeing that connection. Like, it's just, it was iconic, okay? It was iconic. And I had been searching and searching and searching, and I'd seen other ones, but like other curated art decks just didn't really hit the spot. They weren't moody enough. They weren't like, you know, no borders. They had like pink or something. I'm thinking of like this one, Tarot of Persephone maybe, or Aphrodite, something like that. And it just wasn't the same. And so I spent forever like looking and hoping, and I was like, I'll just let one come to me. And then this did. And I believe they are still doing pre-orders on the Etsy, and I got it on Etsy. I think it was Lisa Pepez that showed this one off. Yeah. And here I am. So, and it's been fabulous. It's been wonderful. I really enjoy this deck, and it scratches that itch, you know? Like, it scratches the itch of what the Tarot of Delphi would have been. But it also adds something more, in my opinion. Okay, my camera cut out, so I might have lost a little bit of my wording there, but I was saying that the archetype and the Greek word adds something extra to the card, to the reading, to the situation. Again, not a keyword, just something extra that really adds another layer. And I just think the choices for each depiction, well, not all of them, but I would say the majority of them for me was like spot on. I was like, yes, that's like the best depiction that you could show. I think you found the perfect artwork. Like, I genuinely am just so stoked over this deck. This is so powerful. I love it. And honestly, I don't feel like I need the Tarot of Delphi anymore, which is funny because now I have the High Priestess. And this is why I wanted the Tarot of Delphi, right? So I'm happy with it, and I've been enjoying it. And I've been loving learning about the different art pieces that were used, and I just think it's just interesting and wonderful, and it feels amazing. But it has kind of like, now this is the deck that made, oh, that's funny. This is the deck that made that niche in my collection feel complete. It's why I didn't really feel a need to get the Botticelli. But it's a gift, and I am enjoying it, and I want to use it. I say I'm enjoying it, I've only used it like once or twice, but I did really enjoy looking at it today, and the readings I've had have worked, and I would like to get to know it better. But then, when I also have like the influence of angels, and the divine masculine, and then we just throw in the Fyodor Pavlov, like, at this point, that I don't really feel like I need more out of this theme. And so, I don't know where that leads me. I don't know if I'm going to stop. Like, obviously, I think I'm going to stop for now, like, with this kind of aesthetic. But the curated art aesthetic, we're good. We're good. We're solid. We don't need any more. We have what we need. The Renaissance-y art as well, I think, is kind of at a pause, which is funny because I have some on my wish list that technically meet that criteria. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys what I've been playing around with, what I got, because, you know, there are some new things in this collection. But let me know what you guys think about these decks, what you guys think about curated art, and honestly, part of me is like, curated art is so similar to like collage art in the sense that like it's quite easy. I don't want to say easy, but it feels easy. And so I'm not really sure if I'm a huge fan or not. But anyway, thank you guys for sitting with me, chatting with me, looking at decks with me, because I didn't have a plan for this video. I just kind of did it. So thank you for hanging out. And anyway, until next time, I will catch you later.